So my boss let me 3 Nick Cage movies to watch over the past week, which I did. And this is the one that I was like I'm excited for because I like Nick Cage, but I didn't know anything about the movie, and it didn't look like it was my kind of movie. It's like a weird cop movie. I was wrong. This movie's brilliant, and I can't wait to talk about Bad Lieutenant, Port of Call, New Orleans. Bad Lieutenant, Port of Call in New Orleans was released in 2009. That was so long ago. I was 8. Wow. It was written by William M. Finkelstein and directed by Werner Herzog. Now, this is technically a remake, sort of an original movie called Bad Lieutenant, but there's a lot of conspiracy about it. I was reading about it because I was curious. No one knows if it's actually a remake. It seems like a remake. In fact, it was released on the same day, years apart. But apparently the directors had never talked. The directors had never seen each other's movies. It was honestly, apparently, according to them, a complete accident, which I find is BS. This is definitely a reboot or a remake of the Bad Lieutenant series, I guess. I haven't seen the original. I want to. But anyway, that's the conspiracy. In case you've heard about the conspiracy, that is the conspiracy. And no one knows, even to this day, what is going on with that. So I found that really incredibly interesting. But anyway, the movie is essentially about this lieutenant who is a drug addict because he has back pain, and his doctor gives him drugs, and he's like, drugs are great, we're gonna do drugs from now on. Cool, cool. But he's also a cop, so he's trying to solve these murder mysteries, basically, while also being on a ton of drugs. And it is awesome. I mean, I did not think I was going to love this movie the way that I did. I freaking love it. The filming techniques aren't particularly fantastic. Nothing's revolutionary. But the story is awesome. Like, I love this story. I think it's awesome. Nick Cage did a really good job, and there's this theory I want to talk about. So my roommate watched the movie too. Because he came into my room one day and was like, what you watching? I was like, this movie about Nick Cage and blah, 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 blah. And he was like, that sounds awesome. I'm going to watch it too. And he did, and that was awesome. He needs to watch more movies because he might be a genius. So there's this part in the end where his gun gets taken away from him because he's on drugs, and they're like, you can't be a cop anymore. And Nick Cage is like, oh, and then he does a ton of drugs. And then he captures the bad guy, and then he gets promoted to captain, and then he goes to arrest the same group of people he did in the beginning of the movie. So here's my thought. So there's 2 ways of thinking about it, in my opinion. My boss, and I could lean either way at this point, honestly. My boss thinks that it just shows that even though he's captain, he's still a bad guy, and he's still being on drugs and still being, not a very good person. But my roommate thinks that essentially what happened is when he went on all that drugs, it's just a drug trip. The second half of the movie is like a drug trip where he imagines what it would be like to capture the guy, the drug guy, and because there's not a scene where he gets his gun back, but he has his gun back all of a sudden. And then he captures the guy and becomes captain. And then it goes back to where he was capturing the people, and he kind of thinks about what might have happened if he were to do drugs forever. Which I'm kind of leaning towards that, because it's such a cool theory, for one. But for two, like, there's this part in the second half of the movie where everything happens and it's a miracle. Like, there's just, like, things happening left and right that are just, like, absolutely perfect and in line with what was supposed to happen. And I feel like it's crazy that would have happened, for one. And for two, it seems so crazy because he's not even really a cop at that point. He hasn't gotten his gunner's badge yet. He's still not a cop. And I feel like that's really interesting to me, is that maybe he's right. Like, maybe my roommate's right. And I think it's a really cool theory. At the very least, it's a very cool theory. I don't know what really happened. I don't know what is considered the truth. But I like that. I'm going to pretend that that's what really happened because I think it's really cool. Next time I watch it, I'm going to try to watch a little bit more carefully because I didn't know that this would be something I was thinking about. So that was kind of cool, I guess. But yeah, let me know in the comments below if you guys know about that, if you guys have any clue as to what happened there, because I'm incredibly interested in it. But yeah, I like this movie a whole lot. I really do. I think it's really cool. It's one of my favorite Nick Cage movies of all time, and I didn't expect to like it that much. I didn't. But Nick Cage is great here. Again, it's not like a revolutionary performance for him. But the movie is so cool. It's interesting. It makes a cop movie actually interesting. And of course, who doesn't love a bad cop? Most people probably. But anyway, I like this movie a whole lot. I'm going to go ahead and give Bad Lieutenant, Port of Call, New Orleans an A. Have you guys seen this movie? Let me know in the comments down below what you guys thought about it. I don't know where you can watch it. I actually don't know. I didn't look because I had it on the disc that my boss lent me. But I don't know where you can find it. But if you can find it, watch it because it's freaking awesome. And let me know in the comments below if you have any thoughts on the ending of the movie, whether or not it is how it is in the film, or if you think it's a drug trip, because I want to know who thinks what, because I'm curious. So let me know in the comments down below what you guys thought. And as always, keep watching movies and television, stay educated, and I'll see you guys in the next video.